Good afternoon. I'm pleased to see that so many of you are keen to explore what AI can do for travel marketing. I'm going to start with a quick introduction. I'm sure Stuart's already introduced me, but I'm just a few things I wanted to say. While we've been in this business for over a decade within the tourism and travel digital marketing, but really, while we continue to delight our clients with our media campaigns, the last 18 months have really kept us on our toes, keeping a close eye on the developments within AI, and I mean, particularly within marketing and the industry we operate in. And what we've learned is that things are about to change in a really big way. We, as an agency, we've firsthand seen the impact and the advantages for our own agency, and we've been amazed at the possibilities that exist now and what's coming our way in how marketing will change. So, so if you think about it, your life is already AI assisted, and it has been for quite some time. Every time you use Gmail, Amazon, Netflix, or Alexa, you're tapping into the power of AI without even knowing it. And these technologies have been around for quite some time now. So what is AI? I'd like to assume everyone here has a basic understanding of what AI is. And I won't be surprised or take offense if you think AI is ChatGPT. Well, yes, AI is, ChatGPT is the reason why AI has become a popular name, but AI has been around for quite some time. And I like the simple definition from Google DeepMind's Demis Hassabis that AI is the science of making machines smart. It's the easiest definition to remember. So how will AI redefine marketing? Now, let's look at some predictions here. 80% of what marketers do every day will be intelligently automated to some degree in the next 3 to 5 years. I personally think that prediction is going to come true sooner than 3 to 5 years. And then AI won't replace marketers, but marketers who use AI will replace marketers who don't. And here is a big one from Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, that runs ChatGPT. I won't read out the whole quote, but it just means that a lot of what we do today as an agency will be done directly by clients themselves using AI. And if we are to survive as an agency, we will need to adapt to these changes, as will every other business as well. So what does all this mean for the world of tourism, travel, and hospitality? AI will have a huge impact across various areas of the travel industry, customer service, booking, hospitality experience, and so much more. But since my talk is mainly focused on the marketing side of things, we'll do a quick dive into how it can enhance the ways in which we market to travelers. But before we begin looking at all those possibilities of what AI can do for travel marketing, I want to step back a bit to familiarize ourselves with what the modern traveler wants and will demand, and how our marketing efforts currently measure up to it. So the modern traveler expects everything, personalized recommendations, speed and efficiency, no language barriers, sustainable choices, great customer service, competitive pricing, and more. We're now living in a world of AI assistants, such as ChatGPT, and therefore traveler expectations are going to rise. They're going to want information without looking too hard to find it. Now, here's an example of how Expedia is using ChatGPT to assist travelers in planning and booking. As you can see, I asked for ideas on where to fly within 2 hours and with a climate of over 20 degrees, and it gave me 4 very good options. I'm not sure if the text is visible clearly, but it gave me Lisbon, Barcelona, Nice, and Rome as options. I then asked it to give me a 3-day itinerary for Barcelona, and it did a pretty good job there. Um, Booking.com and other major OTAs also have similar chatbots that are already assisting customers find their perfect hotel, flights, and more. Travelers are going to lean more heavily on AI to source information, which means those beautiful content-rich pages on your website may not be visited by humans as frequently as with the growing use of AI assistants. But that doesn't mean that you should stop producing content and stop building new pages, because AI assistants still need to source like up-to-date information. So I've talked about traveler expectations. Now let's take a look at some of the challenges we face today as marketers. Today's travel brands are overflowing with customer data, but aren't maximizing its potential to drive revenue alongside customer retention, engagement, and loyalty. We have a ton of data, but too little analysis and not enough insights. I still see so many brands that do not maximize insights and that they can have from their customer data. And when they do have some insights, it takes a lot of effort to convert those insights into actions fast enough. We use automation tools, but the smartness is still dependent on actions we take. You still must program the action if you want an effective email workflow. The system doesn't learn on its own. And we're also still using a broadcast approach to our marketing. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next few slides. So how do we craft better marketing campaigns with AI? Well, number one on my list is hyper-personalization. What is hyper-personalization? It's the most advanced way brands can tailor their marketing to individual customers. It's done by creating custom and targeted experiences using data, analytics, AI, and automation. Today's version of personalization doesn't really seem very sophisticated when compared to hyper-personalization. We need to go beyond name tags. Imagine email campaigns that adjust content, deals, and imagery. Imagine websites that dynamically change content, offers, and recommendations, and chatbots that provide personalized travel recommendations, which is already happening. That's the impact that hyper-personalization can make. Next up on the list is AI-based creativity. Human creativity is undeniably amazing. We can craft compelling marketing campaigns that resonate deeply with audiences. But we should make room for AI-assisted creativity that can complement and augment human creativity. Tools like, I'm sure you've heard of tools like DALL-E, Sora, and Midjourney. They all offer a new dimension of creative potential. And for anyone who's tried image generation from AI, we know that it takes a lot of clever prompting to get something decent looking. But if harnessed correctly and with the right creative direction, it can produce amazing results. So incorporating AI into the creative process is a win-win situation. And here's why. AI can analyze vast amounts of data to find you the most relevant imagery and copy for your campaigns. We use Canva and other image generation tools, and we no longer have to think about, we don't have to think too hard about what imagery we'd like to use, as we simply get suggestions by typing a description of what we're looking for. And then the speed and cost are other huge gains from AI that no marketing team should be ignoring. Now, the creative element of AI is really entertaining. We're all being entertained and busy using ChatGPT to generate text, content, and just have fun with it. But AI can create significant advantages when you plug it into your business data. There is immense value in crafting strategies and action plans on the strengths of insights that AI-driven tools can provide. Let's take a look. So, you should look beyond ChatGPT. AI tools can do so much more than just giving you some text from ChatGPT and some answers. AI tools can automate the analysis of large data sets, identify patterns, predict trends, and even provide recommendations, making advanced data analytics more accessible and cost-effective. They can identify patterns and anomalies that may not be visible to human analysts. They can also provide recommendations and forecasts based on data trends, and the level of insights that can be far more profound and forward-looking, with AI uncovering hidden correlations and predicting future trends or outcomes. Now, historically, deriving deep, actionable insights from business data often required significant investment in complex data systems, analytic systems, making it very challenging for smaller businesses to compete with larger ones. However, AI has significantly leveled the playing field here. It's made it possible for businesses of all sizes to access powerful insights without the need for prohibitively expensive infrastructure or specialized teams. So what advantages can AI tools bring to the travel and hospitality sector? Well, if you're a hotel, attraction, tour operator, or any type of business that sells travel products, then you can benefit from things like dynamic pricing strategies, predictive analytics, which can help forecast future demand for destinations and accommodations, enhanced research and market insights, which can also benefit things like sustainable tourism. Now, let's take a look at some of the most common use cases of AI within marketing. By far, the most popular marketing use case is content creation, where you can easily save at least 30 to 50% of your time. And if you've struggled to create content consistently due to the lack of resources, then AI easily solves that. Generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini can help you with content ideation, creating blog posts, website content, social media, ad copies, product descriptions, you name it, and so much more, On the right side of the slide, I've put together some popular AI tools according to its application, and we use many of these tools ourselves, from major GPTs to image and video generation tools. There is a specialized AI tool that anyone can take advantage of. And this is by no means an exhaustive list, as new tools are coming out every month. Almost every piece of content we create at our agency has some degree of research and copy enabled by paid-for AI tools. We've even created our own AI policy framework that ensures all copy is checked by humans before being published. I'd just like to ask all of you, how many of you are already using AI to generate content? All right, it's good. It could be better. Well, using AI is the only way to sustainably scale content creation and promotion. And at Digital Dialogue, we also use custom GPTs for different types of tasks. How many of you have heard of custom GPTs? For those not familiar with custom GPTs, they are a part of ChatGPT that can be customized to focus on specific, narrowly defined use cases. For example, we create a custom GPT for every campaign that we run for our clients, and we train it by feeding it knowledge about the campaign and its assets. And doing so helps us in getting meaningful outputs, such as ad copies, targeting suggestions, creative suggestions, and much more. It's almost like having another team member on the campaign, a virtual one. Advertising platforms have been early birds in integrating AI into marketing. Now, Facebook and Google, the two major ad platforms, have Both have several AI features built into them, and they've been available to us for quite some time now. They both offer AI-driven targeting and personalization. Both platforms have smart bidding features that adjust bids and ad placements. And dynamic and responsive ads are nothing new, but with AI, you can adjust content and ad format based on user interactions and queries. Whether you run your own ad campaigns in-house or through an agency, you should enable AI across all your media buying. At our agency, all our client campaigns utilize some degree of AI features in each platform where we feel we can achieve significant gains. But not all AI features will enhance your campaign, so it's vital to choose carefully. AI brings quite a few capabilities to email marketing. As marketers, we've been using email automation for years, but AI makes that automation a whole lot smarter now. I'm sure many of you have already experimented using just writing subject lines, email subject lines, and email copy using ChatGPT and AI. And it can do that pretty well. It can also segment your databases, create and curate newsletters, and even optimize email send time based on location and email opening behavior. And in case you're wondering, how do you get started on all of this? In most cases, you can simply activate the AI capabilities within your existing email platform. You don't always need to go and get a new tool, but you should check with your existing tools to see what AI features they're building in. And almost all the major platforms like MailChimp, HubSpot, Klaviyo, and there's so many more that have already built AI capabilities into their system, and some are rolling out even more advanced capabilities. And besides all these, you can still use the ChatGPT and other GPTs to craft email content. For social media, AI allows you to do much more than posting to your communities. We've had tools like Hootsuite and Buffer for quite a while now, for over a decade, helping us to schedule content and automate posting. But these tools have now added AI-assisted features. You can personalize content to specific social media channel formats, styles, and tone. You can even predict which content topics will drive the most engagement across channels. Social listening tools have also existed for almost a decade. However, now with AI, these tools have gotten a lot smarter and a whole lot more affordable and accessible for all. And then you have moderation, engagement, and audience targeting and segmentation, all of which benefit considerably from the power of AI for social media. Now, within SEO, there are significant advantages that AI brings. Keyword research can be done a lot quicker. You can create blogs and website content optimized to rank higher. You can find mid and long-tail keyword opportunities. You can create heat maps of top-ranking competitive content and so much more. But before we get too excited about the possibilities of AI for SEO, I'd like to point out that it's a double-edged sword. The SEO industry generated $68 billion in 2022 and had projections to hit $129 billion by 2030. But with AI set to become a disruptor to traditional search, that projection might seem a bit unachievable now. Instead of seeing typical URL-based search results, AI-based search engines will provide you with an answer as opposed to a list of URLs. Here's an example from Perplexity.ai, which I absolutely love, and it's my go-to AI-based search engine. And if you haven't tried it, you definitely should. So Perplexity works differently from Google. I'm not sure how well you can see the writing on the screen, but let me describe it. So you typically first see an answer instead of sponsored and organic URL-based listings. As you can see here, I asked for flight deals to New York, and it further refined my query by asking me the month, which I specified as August. And it then gave me an answer, but it also displayed the sources of information as clickable links for me to research in a more granular way. If you see there, it just shows you the sources there, all of the sources. And here's the answer it gave me. Results from Kayak, Virgin Atlantic, British Airways, Expedia, Skyscanner, and even Google Flights. Now, the answers might not always be the ones you're looking for, and they will only get better with time. But this clearly demonstrates how AI is changing the way we search and expect information. And as this way of searching becomes more popular, it will have an adverse impact on the revenues of SEO consultants, search engine marketers, consultants, and ultimately the bottom line of the search engines themselves will be adversely impacted. So far, we've seen what AI can do for marketing, but you should also look beyond marketing and consider upscaling your customer service function with AI. My top recommendation is to seriously consider the use of AI-powered chatbots on your website and social media channels if you haven't done so already. AI-powered chatbots will be a game changer in revolutionizing traveler experiences. The industry is projected to grow to 1.34 billion this year. And as you can see from the statistics there, that it is really a game changer, and it's a very compelling scenario there. Just recently, Klarna, the payment services company, announced that 2/3 of its customer service chats are handled by AI, doing the work of almost 700 full-time customer service agents. Well, I hope the agents have been reassigned to other roles and not been made redundant. And while these numbers are quoted directly by Klarna and not verified independently, I think it's still safe to say that AI chatbots can offer faster service and significantly increase the bottom line of companies. In addition to the use cases we've covered so far, there are other marketing-related ones, such as website experience, influencer marketing, and PR, to name a few. And there are also other important business areas, such as sales, customer service, and back-office operations, all of which can benefit from significant time and cost savings with AI. So I hope you found this presentation useful today. For my final slide, I'm going to leave you with some tips on how to get started on your AI journey today. My first recommendation is, don't wait. Put AI on your agenda now if you haven't already. If you're waiting for the AI dust to settle down, it won't anytime soon. It's a constantly changing landscape out there, and quite frankly, no other technology has moved this fast in history. Yes, there are aspects such as which companies and tools will emerge winners, the legalities of using AI, societal impact, and more. But none of these should prevent you from making a start to benefit your business. My second tip is, AI tools are really cheap right now. They will get a lot more expensive. And with most paid subscriptions costing no more than £20 per person per month. So cost should definitely not be an issue. Try the free versions initially, but if you want serious efficiencies, then you will need to go with the paid versions. My third tip is about how do you get started? Try pilot projects. Start by identifying and implementing quick win use cases like content creation, email personalization, or anything that saves time and effort and that is repetitive. Then look at more advanced use cases such as predictive analysis, customer segmentation, and so on. Number 4 is education and training. I mean, I'm listening to about almost like a dozen podcasts in a week, every week, and I still don't think I know everything about AI. And things are changing every week in the world of AI. And while it can be hard to stay on top of every new advancement and new tool, it is vital to get trained to be able to at least implement some of the use cases you've seen in the presentation today. And finally, seek help, seek expertise from outside if you feel overwhelmed or just don't have the required bandwidth to implement AI in your company. Talk to agencies like us. We offer training, strategy, implementation to help you identify and cut through the noise. There's so many tools and technologies out there, and we can really help you save time and money. So definitely have AI as just at the top of your agenda. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Manu. Wow. I think I can't tell whether this is a generational thing, because from my point of view, I'm a travel writer and a transport writer. You look at some of the guidance there from Expedia, for example, and it throws up suggestions of itineraries. And looking at that, you know perfectly well there are suggestions, but as an itinerary, it would never work. Where it says, oh, pop into a museum. No, you're going to spend most of the day wanting to do that. It gives you ideas. So I think, as always, with some of the writing, and I've dabbled with ChatGPT writing travel content, and it comes up with perfectly acceptable travel content, but there's no heart to it, not yet. And I think that could be where it's going, because, of course, individuals will add in their own experience. If I understand it correctly, ChatGPT, and I'm on the edge of my own knowledge here, and I readily admit it, can only really source what there is. It learns from it, but it hasn't got. It's not a real person going out and experiencing real things. So I think my first thought would be all of that. There's an awful lot of opportunity there, but you, as you said, I think you pick and choose with caution. I think my first question, I'm going to open it out to questions in a minute. We'll go on for a bit longer for this session because I think it's important. Because I'm guessing there are questions to come to Manu. What we haven't seen really, and what would be useful, are perhaps one or two examples of an organization. Actually, what did they do? There is so much choice out there, all those different brands. How do you get started? It was interesting when you put your hands up to say you're doing it. Everybody, I guess, is doing it in a slightly different way because there's so much choice. So is it fair to say, and you might have it on your website, for example, you want people to come to you so you can give the advice, but just to take not real examples, but an example led of, right, I wanted to change my marketing, or I wanted to do a bit of engagement. How did you do that? Because looking at that, I go, ooh, that's just too much. But as I say, is it generational? I'm an older person. Where are we going? Anyway, what would you say?
I mean, I had a few slides, but for time I had to sort of strip them out. But where there were some clear, good examples of how certain tour operators were using AI. There was a case of one tour operator where they were looking to break into create new products, And so AI helped them to identify patterns and like trends, really. Adventure, thing about sustainable, like a package for sustainable travel. And so AI was able to do all the research and even create their marketing campaign for them. And the use case and that case study actually really demonstrated how a tour operator was able to use AI, do the research that went into identifying the new product offering, which would have taken them a lot of time and surveys to do, and it pulled all that. It actually scanned through the social media sites of so many other competing, and just to sort of listen to the trends out there.
And how would they start that process? Because I'm thinking there will be those in the audience who are thinking, that sounds good, where do you begin?
It starts with using a tool. It starts with research. It all starts with research. You've got to sort of, with AI, prompting is quite key. You've got to have a clear idea about what are you asking it to do. So you might have like, you might be clear about the end result you want, the end goal, but you've got to break it down. So if you break down the research element of it and just say, hey, tell me what's new and trendy, what's trending right now in terms of travel sort of packages, or what do millennials want, when they travel,
Yep.
And it can definitely go out there, source a lot of information, bring it back to you, and summarize it for you. And then you would then sort of ask it for the sources and verify it yourself. And so that'll give you something to start with.
Right.
So then you would take that information and then say, okay, how would a package look like, if I were to sell it for? What do you think this is going to sell for? How would this be marketed to that particular audience? And then it'll come up with some ideas on that as well, And
when you say it, to go down that route to that stage, you've obviously gone into one of the tools that we've seen today. But am I being too naive here? Which tool do you start with? Because in the past it would have been Google, perhaps. But there are obviously other tools. It's like ChatGPT. You can go in, you can ask it questions, it will write something for you. It's fascinating. And that's where I would start with that little bit I've dipped into.
Yeah, you have, you could still use Google as well, but you have generative AI tools, which is the likes of ChatGPT, Claude, we've got Google Gemini. There's about 4 or 5 major GPT players right now, all of them excellent for doing research. You simply ask it the question, and it'll go out there and get you tons of information and summarize it for you.
I'm with you. And a silly question, GPT stands for?
Generative Processing Transformer.
Blimey. There we go. Right, do we have some questions? I'm sure we probably do. There's a mic. Wait for the microphone and do tell us who you are, please.
Hi. Hello. My name's Leah. Hi. So I love all this. It's going to make marketing a lot more straightforward, but obviously there's already been some incidences where people use it and just don't deliver. Like the Wonka experience was hilarious, sort of use of AI to generate amazing images and amazing marketing campaign. And then, how often do you think we're going to see people investing their money, like putting themselves, going on holidays, putting a lot of their money in something they think is going to be an amazing experience, and people are kind of just using AI to create something that's not real. Like their digital side, it's great that we've got all these digital enhancements that we can use, but there's only reality to deliver at the end of the day, especially when it comes to tourism and experiences. So is it going too far? You generating imagery and stuff rather than using what's actually there.
Yeah. Image generation, AI-based creativity is something that people are not immediately adopting right now because, if I've understood your question correctly, there are kind of, it's a skill, it's an art right now. Just like you would go to a creative person to design something creative for you, imagery-wise, like do photography or anything. AI has the potential to do all of that, but it just takes a lot of clever prompting right now and to deliver that sort of level of creativity. I actually had a lot of slides which I had to sort of strip out for sake of time, which demonstrated how several destination marketing campaigns have used creative imagery and videos with AI, and they've been very well received by the audience. And as more and more people use it, it will just get more mainstream. There's no doubt that human creativity is still going to be there, but people are the definition of creativity is going to change a bit. I'm not sure if I've answered all of your question.
I think it's interesting that you say there you've got examples. I'm wondering on the BTTS website, or there's a way we can take those slides and have them somewhere as a reference point. I'm assuming they could be on your website.
Well,
or
a lot
not,
of the
but-
images you saw in my presentation, they're all AI generated as well.
Yes, but those examples, how people are doing what they're doing. It could be just me, but I feel that sometimes we know what there is, but how do you step on the journey? Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about experimentation. Everyone's in experimentation stage right now. There's a lot of trepidation. I mean, there's obviously the uncertainty about not knowing where to start, but I mean, one has to take baby steps here. There's a lot to get overwhelmed about, but start small. One of the major GPTs, all you have to do is interact with it like you would to any other human being. It's as simple as that. When I talk to the GPTs, I'm actually talking to somebody as if I would talk to them, as if I would talk to somebody in my team. I actually ask them, I'm even being polite and courteous to them because we never know when the machines take over, you know, we have to be polite.
I'm with you. Do we have another question? Gentleman at the front.
Hi there. So my name is Henry, and I work in Oxford, which has quite a big international market for
Speak a little
tourists.
louder.
Big international market for tourists. So one of the interesting things you came across was talking about language there. So I'm a person that's not, can't speak multiple languages, and most people I work with can't. But have you used AI? I've seen examples of using AI to kind of for that customer interface. So when you're actually in a place, having promptings for, for example, the bathrooms are here, things like that, but being able to do that in real time for multiple languages, for a really wide range of languages as well, not just, European languages, but we're talking, say, for example, if somebody is an Uzbek and they come, you have an Uzbekistan, stuff that is not kind of, or South Korean stuff that's not kind of mainstream languages you'll come across today, and how accurate actually is that at the moment?
Well, AI can definitely handle all of the languages, but it's also getting smarter at understanding the nuances and the regional dialects and all of those things. If you quiz it, it might not always. One of the major bugbears I have with AI tools out of the box is it's all American right now. When you ask for anything, unless you have to repeatedly tell it to give me UK English and not American English. And but that is not to say that it's not capable of doing that. I've seen videos, including deep fakes, where it can make a person who's never spoken a certain language at all come across in a video and speak it so fluently and convincingly that you would never ever make out that they weren't speaking that language. So it can definitely handle the language, whatever you throw at it, but there are specialized tools, depending upon how you want to use it. You can implement it on your website or in your chatbot. Chatbots are capable of answering in any language that the user asks it to.
There's a good example. If you Google Japan Rail in Tokyo, now they've just started, I think, introducing a screen. You can go up to an information desk, talk to the screen, and there's a person behind it, but it then replies in, I forget which way round it works, but it's an interaction between the two different languages, which in Japan, of course, just have a Google that again, because that will pop up. And I think that's going to be a significant change, for visitors in places like Oxford. So there's a question, the lady on the end here in front of you.
Yeah, hi. I wondered, as a small business with a small budget and a small team, what's the one thing in this whole area that you would recommend if the immediate focus is on encouraging new customers to your business? Where's AI at its most advanced at the moment? What's going to have the biggest impact?
Right. So if I understood your question correctly, you're saying where would you first spend your money if you haven't really started anything yet? I would definitely recommend paid subscriptions to tools like ChatGPT or Claude or Google Gemini, any one of the large language models and the GPTs, they're a good start because they're very generalized, they're broad. You can use it to do a lot of research, and there is potential to automate things as well, So I think any efficiencies you want to see in your business, whether it's time or cost, it all begins with a lot of research. And then the goal is to try and automate repetitive tasks, really. And you might be using an email tool that sends out emails once a week, and you might have your marketing campaigns doing always-on campaigns. And so and AI is being built into all of these things. So it's the bit about the pilot projects that I was talking about, where identify quick win use cases. See where can you shave off about 5-6 hours a week. And it's going to be a bit of a trial and error. You'll have to sort of try the GPTs, give it the information that you're looking to do yourself manually, and see what it throws back at you. And see if that, oh my God, this actually is saving me about at least an hour a day. And so start with the GPTs is my recommendation. And then there are more specialist tools that all leverage AI, and then you can see efficiencies there as well.
Okay, I've got time for one more question if there is another question from the floor. Lady at the back.
This is fascinating. The question I have for you is, if you're shaving off that time in your own business, 5 or 6 hours a week or whatever on a client work, do you pass that on?
Pass the time on.
Do you pass on that cost saving to your clients? How does that work? I suppose I'm an agency, I'm market research. So do you pass that cost saving on, or where do you put your added value? How do you sell
Yes.
your added value?
I think any significant time savings must benefit your customers. And it also benefits the agency, because if you've been able to do that job in half the time, that's good for your bottom line as well. And but your customers not only get, time is one way of looking at it, and you can certainly pass on the savings there. But my recommendation is that how can you enhance your offering? More like, okay, so you've shaved off some time there. What else can you do to make this better? So there is a time-saving component, but there's also this thing about, okay, we were crafting ad copies manually for our clients, and now we use a lot of AI to do that. And the example I gave earlier about custom GPTs is where we're getting a good quality output very early on now. But that doesn't mean that you give everything to the AI and you get something out which is perfectly usable. A lot of the time, the process is quite iterative. You have to refine till you get the right output from it. We're not there yet when it comes to like, okay, I press the AI button and it just spits out something that's perfectly usable and the clients are going to get impressed straight away. There's a bit of research and a bit of iterative process there. But we are getting to that phase where we are seeing time savings for us, and we are able to deliver things faster to our clients and better as well.
No, me too. And I think it's that thing that you said about treating it like it's an employee.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I think what would be interesting at this time next year is to have 2 or 3